Jesse Wegman is my guest. His book is called Let the People Pick the President, The Case for Abolishing the Electoral College. Is it as simple as what the video suggested?
It is pretty much. I mean, the way that the college works is that these electors who are allocated to the states based on their representation in Congress as well as the Senate um, vote for the president after receiving the votes of their states, the popular votes of their states. I think one thing that people may not understand is that not only do they not have a direct vote for president, they don't even have the right to vote directly for those electors. That is purely up to the states themselves to decide. Now, all states today allow for a popular vote in the state to choose those electors. But in fact, there's no requirement in the Constitution that they do that. State lawmakers could decide for themselves how to award the electors without including the public at all. So you have no right as an American citizen to play any role at all in the election of the president.
So that right to vote directly for president is not actually a constitutional right. It's not enshrined in the Constitution. It's something that we have at the behest of basically all 50 states.
Right. I mean, the right to vote itself isn't in the Constitution. The Supreme Court has read it into the Constitution through various provisions and amendments, but there's no affirmative right to vote in the Constitution, and certainly there's no right to vote for the president.
So let's look at the reasons why this was put into place in the first place. Why did the framers of the Constitution choose this method of picking a president instead of a simple direct popular vote?
It was a really interesting debate. It was the most fraught thing that they battled over at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in 1787. Several of them said this afterward, that no issue vexed them more than this one. They spent 21 different days debating it. They held over 30 votes on it. And in fact, several of the most influential framers in Philadelphia supported a popular vote for president. This includes James Madison, who's widely regarded as the father of the Constitution. And they lost. And why did they lose? Well, there were several concerns that were at play here. One of them was just the circumstances of the day, right? This is a time when there's no communications network, there's no transportation system between states. Most people stayed very close to home and didn't really know anything about circumstances or politics outside of their local communities. So while the framers did give a right to voters, eligible voters, to vote directly for their members of the House of Representatives, they decided that it was going to be too risky to give that same right to vote directly